Virtual learning has caused enrollment in local schools to either spike or decrease. Due to Governor J.B. Pritzker's stay-at-home order, public schools were forced to close their doors and implement remote learning in P-12 classrooms. For schools like the Illinois Virtual School, which operates entirely online, this was no different from normal operations, but the increase in students certainly was.
This most recent fall, we had 2,100 enrollments, and typically we average around 1,000 enrollments in the fall.
Director Kip Pigman said administrators hired 30 additional part-time teachers to help teach the newly enrolled students. Pigman said this was the greatest challenge for the school at the time.
We need to do it as quickly as possible, but certainly not at the expense of bringing on board a instructor that wouldn't meet the quality demands that we have for our online teachers.
Pigman said IVS used to be the only official state-supplemented virtual school. In January, the state offered parents the option of multiple virtual schools, which in turn cut all of IVS's public funding, a 40% loss to the school's operating budget.
There was a solution readily available to serve and support our communities that was built on taxpayer dollars for the last 20 years that unfortunately was not leveraged by our state's leaders.
In McLean County, numbers in private schools have jumped significantly. Over in Normal, Calvary Christian Academy saw an unexpected increase in students.
We do tend to grow year to year, but 40 to 50 new kids all in 1 year like that, that's more than usual.
The increase included so many new students that the school needed to add a second kindergarten classroom. Despite the challenges, the school expects to retain the majority of the new students it gained this year.
I think they've kind of tasted and seen what we have here, and they've signed on for another year.
Over at Bloomington Central Catholic High School, Director of Admissions and Marketing Scott Vogel said the school saw an increase in enrollment, but it was not nearly as large as Calvary Christian. Vogel reported 8 students transferred at the start of the school year, but 3 of those students have since left to attend local public schools. Bloomington School District 87 Superintendent Barry Riley said although many have chosen private school for the academic year, he anticipates that will change in the fall. In an email, he said, "We anticipate many of these children will return to our district in the fall." In Peoria County, the changes were not as drastic at the elementary and high school level. Preschool numbers have been down significantly for Peoria's Catholic schools. Dr. Sharon Weiss, superintendent of schools for the Catholic Diocese of Peoria, reported numbers were down more than 24% compared to previous years. In Peoria's South Side, principal of Christ Lutheran School Terry Mooney reported that the school lost close to 25 students due to the pandemic, but gained just as many due to in-person learning. However, the Southside Christian Academy had the opposite problem. Business Director Cassie Meese said the school saw a 25% increase in enrollment due to parents wanting their children to learn in person. She said the school added a kindergarten class but still had to turn away at least a dozen students.
We honestly could not take them all. We don't have the room in our building.
Meese said the school was able to hire more response to intervention aides.
We knew going into this that we were going to need to have more aides to make up for the fact that our students lost their most important learning time of the year last year due to the pandemic.
Meese feels virtual learning is detrimental to students.
Especially kindergarten through 6th grade, it is critical, in my opinion, that they be in school. It's really where they need that teacher interaction.
Due to the careful selection process, Meese is confident the school will retain the students it picked up with the enrollment increase.
Because we knew our limits, because we knew what we could handle, because we knew who we could educate and who we could not, and what we had room for and who we did not, yes, we'll be able to retain those students.
Across the river in Pekin, Pastor Tim Collard said Faith Baptist Christian School initially planned to stay open, but in spring 2020, administration made the decision to go virtual out of safety concerns for the students.
The remote learning, we weren't prepared for that at all.
While students adapted well to the changes, Collard said the teachers were the ones who had the most trouble.
You teach 20 years in a particular style, and then suddenly now you're having to learn all over again. Our teachers did extremely well. I'm just thrilled with the effort that they put in, the learning curve that they've been on.
Collard said safety protocols were put in place to keep families safe. One of those was dividing the grades into bubbles. With most of the grades combined, the students stayed together to minimize spread from classroom to classroom. For CI Proud, I'm Mike Smith.